And if you get Vanessa Bryant pregnant, you become the Black Mamba, okay? You recover the mantle. It's like the Green Lantern ring. Like all the magic, all the work ethic, the mentality, it's all in there. Where else would he leave it?
My honor to introduce my dear friend Pal tonight. Pal was special to Kobe, as a teammate, as a man, and as a friend.
Vanessa Bryant pregnant? I ain't want to be in my business, but what the fuck? You telling me Kobe Bryant's wife, ex-wife, is pregnant with somebody else's baby? What, the bomber clot? You nah, be serious. You can't be serious.
The internet has once again turned into a wildfire of speculation, and this time, it's centered around none other than Vanessa Bryant. People are saying she's pregnant, but not just pregnant with twins. And as wild as that may sound on its own, what's truly set the internet ablaze is the claim that she's finally replaced Kobe Bryant. Let that sink in. People aren't just gossiping about a possible pregnancy. They're tying it to Kobe's legacy, to grief, to moving on, and to some idea of betrayal. And the worst part? The timing. Because all of this chaos erupted at what should have been one of the happiest and most celebrated moments in her family's life. While the world should have been rallying around her daughter, Natalia Bryant, who just graduated from USC with honors, something else happened. Something that shifted all the attention away from the proud graduate and onto her mother's womb. Natalia's huge milestone, her proudest moment as a young woman, as a daughter, as someone who pushed through unimaginable trauma, it got overshadowed, buried, eclipsed by internet gossip, side-by-side photos, and ridiculous TikTok theories. Instead of headlines reading Natalia Bryant graduates with honors, they were reading, is Vanessa Bryant pregnant with twins? Instead of trending for her academic achievement, Natalia trended because of a rumor about her mother. Imagine that, your biggest day, your personal triumph, your victory after years of pain and healing, suddenly reduced to background noise because the internet thinks your mom is hiding a baby bump. Photos started circulating, screenshots from different angles, clips slowed down, TikToks dissecting her outfits, her body language, the way she held her purse. Speculation snowballed at a terrifying pace. Every outfit Vanessa wore was treated like a clue. People started acting like online detectives, analyzing shadows and silhouettes, convinced they had spotted the start of a baby bump. And once that rumor caught fire, it took off. Fast. People weren't just wondering if Vanessa was expecting. They were theorizing that she was carrying twins. Some even claimed sources confirmed it. Others speculated wildly about who the father might be. Some said it was betrayal. Others called it karma. All of it loud, all of it messy, and all of it totally unfair to both Vanessa and Natalia. Because suddenly, it wasn't just about Vanessa anymore. Natalia found herself pulled right into the center of a drama she never asked for. Her achievements faded into the background as the internet spun stories about her mom, and even her late father's memory. People started dragging Kobe Bryant's name into the conversation, saying this pregnancy, if real, would mean Vanessa was replacing him. Others took it further, accusing her of erasing his legacy, of moving on too quickly, of doing too much or not enough. From former NBA stars to celebrity friends, everyone became a suspect in the game of who got Vanessa pregnant. And through it all, Natalia just watched. Watched as the world turned a proud day into a sideshow. Watch her moment get dismantled by gossip. Watch her family's pain become social media content. She didn't get to enjoy her success. She didn't even get a chance to celebrate it before the world started tearing it down. And what did she do to deserve that? Nothing. She graduated. She did what she was supposed to. She endured grief, heartbreak, pressure, and still came out strong. And yet, the internet couldn't let her have her moment. She crashed. Not because of school, not because of stress, but because she got caught in the blast radius of public curiosity and cruel commentary. And then came the so-called evidence. Screenshots, photos, memes. People started analyzing Vanessa's waistline like it was a press release. Angles were zoomed in, clips slowed down, circles drawn. Entire TikToks dedicated to proving she was pregnant. It felt less like social media and more like CSI, Vanessa Bryant. And when the jokes started flying, they weren't just insensitive, they were brutal. One viral post read, "If you get Vanessa Bryant pregnant, you don't just become a dad, you inherit Kobe's legacy." That's like the Black Mamba Green Lantern ring. You get all the power, all the mentality, all the magic. Congratulations, you're now the Black Mamba's stepdad. It was meant to be funny, but it wasn't. Not really, because Vanessa hadn't said a word. Not one. No soft launch photos. No mysterious brunch dates. No flirty captions. No blurry pics of a man in the background. She hadn't given the internet anything. Yet the internet acted like it had cracked some hidden code. And when she finally did respond, she didn't speak. She posted 2 memes. That's all it took. The first, a photo of Rihanna wearing goggles and flipping off the camera with a caption that read, "Me protecting my peace. Not pregnant. Just having fun all summer." The second, even more direct, text on a black screen. "I'm not mean. I'm just not the one." No statement. No interview. No video. Just that. Short, sharp, and very on brand for Vanessa Bryant. But instead of calming things down, her post had the opposite effect. It made people dig even harder. Some accused her of lying. Others said she was just trying to throw them off the scent. The comment sections turned into war zones. One person wrote, "According to statistics, she waited longer than most. Let her live." Another said, "She's a widow, not a nun. Let her move on." But then others pushed back, calling her disloyal, dramatic, or worse. And somehow, the narrative started to shift again. It wasn't just about Vanessa. It became about Kobe, about what he meant to people, and about how they expected his memory to be treated by his wife, his daughter, and anyone else connected to him. Now here's where things started to spiral out of control fast. It wasn't just the pregnancy rumor itself anymore. The internet needed more. It wanted details. It demanded names. So naturally, the next big question became, who got Vanessa Bryant pregnant? Because apparently, it wasn't enough to accuse her of moving on from Kobe. Now people wanted to know who supposedly stepped into the shoes of one of the most iconic athletes in history. And that's when the wild guesses started flying. The most talked about name at first? Rob Pelinka. If you know the NBA, you know Rob. He wasn't just Kobe's agent for years. He was basically like family. He managed Kobe's career, helped build the Lakers' front office, and remained close to Vanessa and the girls after Kobe's passing. Some would even say too close, and that's exactly where the internet went with it. A viral TikTok resurfaced an old photo of Rob and Vanessa at a charity event. To most, it was a normal picture, 2 friends, both grieving, leaning on each other through unimaginable pain. But to the online rumor mill, it was fuel. People started analyzing their body language, zooming in on their smiles, reading in every detail like it was a soap opera scene. Rob Pelinka and Vanessa Bryant. Y'all see that birthday post she made about him. She don't talk about nobody else like that. The speculations came fast, and they were relentless. Vanessa had once posted a sweet birthday tribute to Rob, just a few kind words and a couple photos. Nothing romantic, nothing suggestive. But in the eyes of the internet, that was enough. Suddenly, people were convinced there was something more between them. A hidden relationship, a secret connection, a possible baby. There was only one problem. Rob Pelinka is very publicly married, happily, with a family. There's no evidence, no proof, no whispers from inside sources. Just noise. But still, the internet wouldn't let it go. That's how deep the obsession ran. Then came the second, and much louder, name, Pau Gasol. Now this one hit different. Because for many fans, Pau wasn't just Kobe's teammate. He was Kobe's brother. He's been by Vanessa's side from the very beginning. When Kobe passed, Pau didn't just show up at the funeral. He showed up everywhere after. Family dinners, Gigi's memorials, special anniversaries. He sends flowers on important dates. He spends holidays with the Bryants. He's there for the girls. Consistently. Publicly. Lovingly. He's the kind of man most people wish their family friends were like. So naturally, people couldn't leave it at that. The biggest spark? A gesture. On Valentine's Day, Pau sent Vanessa a bouquet of beautiful white roses. Not red, white. Still, people ran wild with it. What kind of friend sends flowers to a widow on Valentine's Day? Come on now. They're clearly more than friends. She's replacing Kobe with Pau. That's the kind of speculation that exploded. TikToks, Twitter threads, blog posts. People reanalyzed Pau's tribute speech at Kobe's Jersey retirement, where Vanessa introduced him as my dear friend and family. Suddenly, it was seen through a new and very tabloid lens. But again, let's talk about facts. Pau Gasol has never publicly disrespected Kobe's legacy. He's never said or done anything inappropriate. And when he and his wife had a daughter, he honored Gianna's memory by naming her Elizabeth Gianna Gasol. He even asked Vanessa to be her godmother. That's not flirtation. That's family. Still, gossip doesn't care about facts. People kept asking if Vanessa is pregnant and if she's been romantically involved with someone. Could it be Pau? The internet turned something sacred, grief, friendship, family, into a game of guess the baby daddy. And the irony of it all? Vanessa never confirmed she was pregnant in the first place. While the internet continued dissecting Vanessa's every move, outfit, and meme, someone else was silently carrying the weight of it all, Natalia Bryant. And this is where things get really hard to stomach. Because if you think the internet was just speculating about Vanessa's body, you're wrong. They were dragging Kobe's legacy into the conversation. And when that happens, it doesn't just affect Vanessa, it lands squarely on Natalia too. The moment people started saying Vanessa was trying to replace Kobe, as if a human being can be replaced, they started placing unrealistic emotional expectations on his daughter. Suddenly, Natalia wasn't just Kobe's child. She became, in the eyes of some fans, the guardian of his legacy, the protector of his image, the emotional stand-in for a narrative that wasn't hers to carry. And when people start projecting their own grief onto a 21-year-old woman who's just trying to graduate and move forward with her life, that's when we have a real problem. Because now it's not just about whether Vanessa is allowed to move on, it's about whether Natalia is allowed to grow, to be her own person, to celebrate her own wins without constantly being reduced to Kobe's daughter, without constantly being compared to her dad, or expected to stay frozen in grief. Think about what that does to someone's mental health. She hasn't posted a single comment about the rumors. Not one. No interviews. No vague tweets. No cryptic Instagram captions. Just silence. But that silence, instead of being respected, has been twisted into proof that something shady is happening behind the scenes. And it's exhausting, because Natalia's silence is not guilt. It's grace. It's strength. It's boundaries. She doesn't owe the world a reaction, and yet the world keeps demanding one. Before anyone continues preaching that Vanessa should never move on or owe it to Kobe to remain single for the rest of her life, let's get real for a second about what their marriage actually was. Because this wasn't some fairy tale romance untouched by reality. Kobe met Vanessa when she was just 17 years old. She was a high school senior working as a background dancer on a music video set. Kobe was 21, already a rising star in the NBA. He fell for her hard, fast, and openly. They got engaged less than a year later, married shortly after that. And what followed? Years of public pressure, family tension, and very real heartbreak. In 2003, Kobe was accused of sexual assault by a 19-year-old hotel worker in Colorado. The case made national headlines. It was the sports scandal of the year. Kobe publicly admitted to cheating on Vanessa. He apologized in front of cameras with tears in his eyes. He claimed he thought it was consensual, even though the woman didn't see it that way. And through all of that, Vanessa stayed, quietly. No tell-all interview. No scandalous statements. No tabloid deals. She stayed. He bought her a $4 million apology ring. But even more than that, he tried to rebuild their relationship from the ashes. And Vanessa gave him grace. She kept the family together, protected his image, carried the household, and did it all with the entire world watching. So let's stop pretending their marriage was Disney perfect. It was messy. It was painful. It was real. And through all of it, Vanessa never once tried to make herself the main character. She never capitalized off the drama. She protected Kobe, even when he didn't protect her. So now that he's gone, tragically, unfairly, why are people acting like she's obligated to grieve in silence for the rest of her life? One commenter said it best. Kobe cheated on her, and she still stayed. She deserves to love again. Period. And they're absolutely right. This woman sacrificed years of privacy, endured unimaginable public pain, and now that she might finally be reclaiming joy, the world wants to snatch it away again. And here's what the internet so often forgets. Not everyone who stands by you is blood. Sometimes the people who show up consistently, quietly, and without needing praise are the ones who matter most. Through everything, the rumors, the grief, the lawsuits, the spotlight, Vanessa, Natalia, Bianca, and Capri Bryant have had a small but powerful circle holding them down. People who aren't just there for photo ops or public gestures, but for the private, painful moments too. One of those people is Shaquille O'Neal. Shaq isn't just a basketball legend. He's Uncle Shaq to Vanessa's girls. He's made it clear that if they ever need anything at all they have to do is call. His loyalty to Kobe didn't end when Kobe passed. It just transformed. Now, he protects what Kobe loved most, his family. And of course, Pau Gasol. Despite being dragged into the gossip machine, Pau has never wavered, never flinched, never played into the rumors. Instead, he's shown up consistently, compassionately, and selflessly. Whether it's family vacations, Gigi's memorial, or special anniversaries, he's been there. And when his own daughter was born, he honored her with the name Elizabeth Gianna Gasol. And then, in a gesture that said everything without needing explanation, he asked Vanessa to be her godmother. Vanessa wrote, "My goddaughter is here. So touched by your request to honor my Gigi." That's not just friendship. That's healing. That's chosen family. And no headline, no TikTok theory, no viral rumor can erase that. Because at the end of the day, this family is still standing. They've survived the unimaginable, not just once, but again and again. And whether or not Vanessa is pregnant, whether or not she's dating, whether or not the internet thinks it has all the answers, none of it changes what matters most. They're surviving. They're protecting each other. And more than that, they're learning how to live again. So maybe the real question isn't, is Vanessa pregnant? Maybe it's, why are we so threatened when a woman starts to heal? Because if grief is supposed to be permanent, if women are expected to freeze in time out of respect for someone else's legacy, then what message are we sending to survivors? To widows? To daughters trying to breathe under the weight of expectations they never asked for? The Bryant women have already done the impossible. Now, maybe, just maybe, they're ready to do something even harder, live fully again. And if that bothers you, maybe take a second to ask yourself why.